at Eltham Central Park.
Umpire throws the ball up in the middle of Eltham Central. It's going to be Cantwell who gets tapped down for Eltham, but it's going to be some Marys who get the clearance. McGibbon gets it, he's wrapped up, and it's going to burst out. It goes forward for Eltham, but St Mary's with possession. They go out towards the wing, and there's a great mark taken there, and that is Miles Goulden on centre wing for St Mary's. He looks to go forward.
And a kick originally came from Lucci. It was more in hope, but it was a great mark from Goulden. Gets it up to half forward now. Eltham have the defensive players and a real opportunities to kick out of the pack. We went to Keys, but he dropped it on the slide. Now he's under pressure to get rid of this ball. He hasn't done that, and the umpire says holding the ball because he dragged it in. And it's Goulden who wins a free kick. Still too far out the score, a kick and a half from home. Spearing ball, well, it was on, but Curry was just able to easily read it and get across and take the intercept mark for the Eltham Footy Club.
Curry now looks to go out of defence, and he finds a teammate on the outer side. Eltham moving the ball quickly, and there's a kick up the wing, goes to Marco Reagan. Reagan plays on, hands off to a teammate, and now looking to go inside forward 50. Lowers the eyes a little bit, it finds Cantwell. His mark is just spoiled, and the ball rolls towards the boundary line. It's not quite over just yet, but there's a big players on top of it, and now there will be a ball up. Almost in front of the St Mary's bench, right in front of the scoreboard here at Eltham Central Park.
Brilliant crowd here at Eltham Central Park. Great to see people enjoying community football on this Good Friday. Woods was fantastic from the clearance. Extracted, got a handle that. Montanaro, great vision. He got a handle across, but it was a wonderful smother across half back. And now a chance for St Mary's. Can they reload off the half back line? Ball back in dispute. Lots of numbers around the footy umpire circles. And we'll have a ball up. I think it was Dan Browskis.
Yeah, it was.
We're in the blue boots with that smother. That was a great one because there was some Eltham players forward of the ball who were on over the top, but I know he was 70 metres out from goal, but it was arguably a goal-saving smother. The Kappa got first hands from the clearance, but the umpire said it was a throw. So there'll be a free kick for St Mary's at centre half back to Nick Dean. And Dean, the reigning best and fairest winner for St Mary's, kicks the ball across the centre square. It's a good kick too because it puts Maggio into space. He's got a man over the top who he can handball to now, which he does, and a real opportunity for St Mary's. Gedge deep in the forward pocket. That's a great attempt. That is a wonderful goal from Nicholas Gedge from deep in the forward pocket. And St Mary's get their first goal since time on in the first term. Much needed one. They move to 4-7-31. Eltham is 9-13-67. And you go back to the vision from Nick Dean for mine. Had the ball on the far side of the ground, was able to switch it across to Maggio, who'd run off his man. He looped it over the top, and for mine, that's probably the best chain of play we've seen from St Mary's this afternoon.
I reckon it almost pips his teammate in Tane Cotter as the goal of the day for mine as well. A great start to that quarter here from St Mary's. He was on the run under immense pressure. A second later, he would have been caught holding the ball on a nice angle as well to get that one in.
Ball goes up in the middle, it's Costello rocking for St Mary's, he gets the tap down, but it's McCaffer who snaps one inside forward 50. Williamson crashes the pack, ball comes to ground, it's Maggio for St Mary's, gets the handball out, but Eltham pounce on it. It's Abramov who takes possession. He's tackled straight away by Nathan Jasper and doesn't get it out, and he's going to be caught holding the ball.
I like the composure there from Maggio. The handball was unfortunate because Lucci got a horrendous bounce and went back over his head. It was unfortunate there, but he was just composed to the handball, and then you look at one of the other youngsters in Jasper, gets in, makes a real goal-saving tackle as well. So some of the youngsters, some good defensive efforts there as he loops the ball to Dylan Runnels, a two-time Division 3 coaches MVP, of course, Premiership captain of St Mary's inaugural Premiership in 2018. Short ball, composed play here for St Mary's early stages of the third term. Goulden worked high up the ground to take that mark, and it's a measured ball up to the wing, and the mark taken by Zane Costello. Costello wants to move it on quickly, saw numbers up ahead, put it into the space for Dean, couldn't quite trap it off hands, it goes out of bounds for a throw in, but we're only 4 minutes into the quarter. It's going to be a long half with warm conditions, but you have to like the way St Mary's have come in after the main break and playing with a real intent here to get the ball moving and to put some pressure on Eltham's defensive six.
Well, this is the composure we were talking about after half-time break. They're just taking their time, an extra couple of seconds to get that ball forward, and they've already been able to do it a lot more in this quarter for a few minutes in.
Well, they're back inside 450, but Tim Curry led the chase and got a handball into the middle of the ground to Avramov. Kicks towards full forward, still Minners with the big score from behind. Fell to ground level. Bergman, will he put Jasper under the pump? Will he concede the behind? No, he wants to keep the ball in play. might have been better to rush it over the top because he kicked to a 2-on-1, but Williamson took out his opponent with his acrobatic attempt. Kassane kept his feet and he runs away with the footy for St Mary's, but his kick was shallow and it's cut off by Anton Wood on true centre wing.
And Anton Woods moves it right into the centre of Eltham Central to find Avramov. He gives a handball off, and now Eltham go inside forward 50, and it's Alex Bellchambers takes the diving mark inside forward 50 for Edwards.
And we talk about, turnover footy there, but that Kassane kick gets over the top. They're away, aren't they, St Mary's? It just falls short a metre. Woods takes the mark, but what is his first instinct? Go back through the corridor, and it opens up the whole ground for Eltham, and Bellchambers has gone forward. He's already on the scoreboard, of course, a premiership winner at under 19 level for Eltham 2 years ago, and a chance to kick his second goal. He arcs around. It's an awkward approach, but it might just work. He's worked it back nicely, and Eltham have their first goal of this second half, and it's Alex Bellchambers who puts it through for his second, and the Panthers are extending again. They move to 10 goals, 13-73. They lead by their halftime margin of 42 points. St Mary's 4-7-31. Alex Bellchambers shown a bit forward today, and one of those young players that we were talking about for Eltham that may emerge throughout the season and help the older players work through midfield and through the forward line as well.
He kicked the first one of the afternoon as well, Bellchambers, and it's good to see his form continuing in front of the big sticks. Like you said, Samuel, a nice talent to look out for Eltham in the future.
We can see McCaffrey's now gone to full forward, not needing the clearance, but Eltham is still going to win it forward. Avramov used the big frame to break through a tackle, spreads the ball wide, will it sit up for Waldron? It does. He's going to handball over the top, which he uses, and now the kick towards goal from O'Regan's going right to the square to McCaffrey, who was probably infringed on by being held, but he took a strong mark overhead, and he'll go back from point blank range for his second goal and to extend the margin to a game high 48 points.
The kick to him was excellent as well, but a one-on-one contest, McCaffrey just had the right position to grab that one. Brilliant.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a luxury for Eltham, isn't it? McCaffrey walks in and nails it from point blank range. So he kicks the 11th for Panthers. They move to 11 goals at 13-79, leading St Mary's 4-7-31. As I said, what a luxury for Eltham. They've got Michael Still, Matt Williamson in there who will be plunking it all day. Then throw McCaffrey down in the goal square and he takes a strong mark himself. It's great signs.
And that's probably, that chain of play there is probably a real sign of where these two sides are in their development. You saw Avramov, big body, break through a tackle, got it forward. O'Regan then broke through a tackle to get the kick, and then McCaffrey one-on-one, able to outbody his opponent. So it's 3 contested plays in a row, and they won each of the contests. Just keep getting the ball forward and keep goal from the top of the square, and that's just a side that's been in the gym for a lot longer against one that's playing largely kids. But lovely chain out of the middle here for St Mary's, and this is going to be a 50-metre penalty. Gordon took the mark, arched the lane quickly, and unfortunately Bronson Glasgow ran into the protected area. So it wasn't a case of the man on the mark moving; it was a player running into the protected space. And Gordon, well, he knew what he was doing because as soon as he arced, he pointed to the umpire and said, "He's in my space." So it was intentional. And really good footy thinking really from Gordon, because he saw the player running towards him and he's going to go back and kick the easiest goal of the day for Miles Gordon, and he goes into the scorebook. And St Mary's pick one back. They go to 5 goals, 7-37. Eltham 11-13-79, and if you're Bronson Glasgow, you're probably feeling a bit hard done by there, because he'd argue that he was already running towards the space, not much he could do. Gordon was smart and he made the umpire aware of it, and he kicks an easy goal.
And a great clearance there from Hanlon as well. Was just able to take the ball out of that ruck stop. It goes straight inside 50, and a good mark from Gordon, who eventually, after the 50-metre penalty, was able to get the result in front of the big sticks. But this goal for goal so far from St Mary's, they wouldn't be too disappointed, but there will be a stage throughout this third quarter where they really will need to start attacking a lot more.
Well, I noticed when the previous goal was kicked by McCaffrey, there were actually a few players already on hands and knees stretching at the calves. It's only, we've played 9 minutes in the third term, so it could be a long half for all 44 players out there. It is a very warm day as Eltham again win the clearance. The ball goes wide. Tolley, can he keep the ball in? Well, he did, because he got good support from Keys, who handled to McCaffrey, who put it out of bounds on the full, and the free kick's going to go to Jake Dambrauskas.
Dambrauskas now taking the kick from out of bounds. He goes inside. It's going to be cut off by Avramov. The kick just had a bit too much, but it's going to be Joseph Maggio coming in for St Mary's, taking possession. He gets a long kick forward, and it's going to come off hands for Eltham. But I think there's a holding free kick paid.
Yeah, he's going to go St Mary's way as well. I thought maybe Eltham a tad unlucky, maybe not get a chop of the arms, but it was good work right there in Hocking. Now gets the free kick. Maggio as well was good before. He was courageous to sit under the ball, and then he also was one of the kicked the ball inside forward 50. So in fact, it's Gedge who's won this free kick. Kicks towards the forward pocket, no mark taken. Ball spills out. An opportunity for St Mary's here. Wrapped up in the tackle was Todd, and he's going nowhere. So the umpire will call for the footy. Hemmed up close to the boundary line. We're about 20 metres in from the St Mary's goal. This quarter here, 2 goals apiece, so it's 42 points of difference in favour of Eltham. Ball in dispute, so many numbers around this footy. Ball eventually comes out towards the boundary line and it's paddled over. No, it's actually kept in. And from the pocket, Goulden, well, he would have kicked a miraculous behind, but it's going back and it's a St Mary's free kick, in fact.
Yeah, it was for holding there.
So it's going to go to Rory Hanlon, who's, well, he couldn't be any further hemmed up to the boundary line, or was going to go to Cotter. They're both waiting for this footy. It looks like it's going to be Hanlon.
Yeah, I think it was Hanlon who was getting held.
So he's going to start his run up from outside the boundary, hemmed up on the new fencing here at Eltham Central Park. He's going to take his absolute best effort this one here, Hanlon. He's going to go to the left foot check side. He's made a good fistful of it, and it hits the inside of the post. So a minor score there, but a great effort from Hanlon. And St Mary's moves to 5-8-38. Eltham 11-13-79 in the posts. Well, they've had a working over today. Third time today that the ball's at the post.
Alpha moves the ball quickly at a defensive 50, but it comes straight back for St Mary's, and a kick long towards goal, but it's going to be ushered over by Matthew Keys for Eltham. So another behind for the Borough, moves them to 5 goals 9-39 here, trailing Eltham by 40 points. Eltham coming out of defence. McCaffrey in the back pocket, he's going to look central, and he's got to find a teammate in Abramov.
And Abramov now looks ahead at his options. Looked at the lead from Williamson, didn't like it, so he's going to go the other way, the scoreboard side of the ground at half back. Measure the ball, Weatherall. Now he'll look back through the corridor. Good kick too. Gets it there quickly to Sullivan. Sullivan's going to go back to the opposite side, and Williamson's going to stand under the foot. He had to beat 2, and he did just that. He was strong. He's got McCaffrey running by in support. Gives it off to his skipper, who kicks it to his co-captain in Anton Woods. Diving mark at half forward. He's got short options ahead. He centres it back to Sullivan, who's continued his run. That was a brave mark. Hard contact from DuPont. That would have hurt. Handle off to McCaffrey. Can he load up from 50? Kicks to the pocket. A good fly from Tim Curry, who's been swung forward. Couldn't mark it. At ground level, Millers got off to Gedge. He was really good with his footwork there. Clean work. Got it off towards centre wing. Williamson was smart. Paddled to his teammate there, Tolly. St Mary's fans wanted a throw, it wasn't given. Well, 2 St Mary's defenders went up, they both spoiled the ball. Ball comes to the pocket, thankfully for them, they've got support in Cohen, and he gives a handball off, and they'll be able to exit their defensive lines through Yeomans.
Yeomans hits a target outside of defensive 50, and now St Mary's will look to go forward once again, looking down the line, and that's going to be Petroro who's got the ball. He goes long towards Zane Costello, the ball's ushered out. Forward of wing for the Borough.
So we've gone in this third quarter, 12 and a half minutes, 2 goals each for the term. There's a 42-point lead to Eltham at half-time. It's now 40 points, 79 plays 39. Ball far side of the ground, just forward of centre for St Mary's. It's going to be DuPont up against Williamson. Williamson read the flight better, won it down. McCaffrey ran through the contest, didn't take the ball, and you can hear the umpire's whistle, he'll call for it. Well, the ball up, similar position. And Ruck's the guy at it again. Williamson with the height advantage over DuPont. DuPont with the big lead though. Got it down, Hocking. Kicks the ball towards centre half forward, but it was well read by Tim Curry, who looks to have a licence to just roam at the moment. He's been at centre half back for a few contests. We saw him at full forward only a minute ago, and he gets it off to Weatherall, who's going to look back through the corridor.
Weatherall in the corridor for Eltham. Can't hit a target, it's Woods who gets the tap down, but it's going to be St Mary's who clear once again. Hewell McGibbon gets a tap, he goes over to Cohen who gets a handball out to a teammate there, and now St Mary's going forward, a nice mark taken just outside forward 50 by Costello.
Might actually be Todd who just chips the ball over the top, and it's a good one too. He's got a man in plenty of space who's taken the mark, Nick Dean, and he's within scoring range here. The man on the mark is about 40 out from goal, measured approach, and St Mary's, well, they're just doing well to work their way into this contest. They refuse to just flounder out of this game, showing plenty of grit and an opportunity for consecutive goals for what would be just the second time for the game for the Borough. Dean comes in, puts his foot through it, it's going to go right to the line, maybe just doesn't have the carry, it was just parried over for a minor score. So the Borough move to 5-10-40, Eltham 11-13-79. We've played 14 minutes in the third quarter.
And Eltham now looking to get out of defence. A quick kick towards the centre of the ground. There's Curry, inside defensive 50. He plays on straight away. Looks outside towards the wing, and that's Ben Montanaro who takes the mark forward of centre wing for the Panthers. He'll look inboard now, and he sees something he likes, and that is a great kick to Jarvis. Jarvis just can't take the mark, and now St Mary's looking to rebound.
And it was Maggio who got it off over the top to Daisy. He had a 2-on-1 over the top, but it was a left foot kick. It was an awkward one, and it pitched straight to Bronson Glasgow. Turned quickly, looking for Abermont. Daisy did really well with the earlier error, and unfortunately got an unkind bounce, which just filled over the boundary line as he tried to keep it in. And we'll have a throw in. About 60 out from the attacking goal for Eltham. New footy's being used this year, the new Latrobe branding as well on it in the Northern Football Netball League. Of course, one of the major partners of the league as the ball's one down. Woods, nice little handball to McCappa. Kick didn't go 15, it was cut off but no mark paid down Brouskas. Really good handball to Daisley, who was clean, got it back through the corridor. Bit of volleyball played, cut off by Glasgow. It's going to come back in here for Eltham as a whistle's blown. Advantage is going to be played, and a long shot towards goal is just wide. That time they're coming off the boots of Smith. Actually, we had that flying shot at goal. Might be a number change it's caused by surprise, so they might have scored against kick. We'll get that one for you in a moment's time as Dan Brouskas brings the ball back into play.
So Dan Brouskas goes along the outside defensive 50. Costello sitting under it for St Mary's. Ball bounces around, and it's Daisley who picks it up. He's tackled and drops the ball, so it'll be a free kick for the Panthers. And it is that same player who just kicked out behind him. We get a name for him. He's number 29, so he's having a bit of it in this third quarter, but we just don't know
50
who it is. So it is 50. And that'll be a certain goal for Eltham.
Bit of a letdown there from St Mary's. They've had some opportunities to go forward in this term, and they just haven't really been able to get 100% of the opportunity there. But the Panthers, with really the assertion going inside 50 in the last few minutes
Might
now.
be Carafa actually who's got this ball now, so he was the one from a moment ago who we didn't call. So saw him, he was stretching out the legs as well as he won that free kick. So it's starting to feel the pinch and feel for the players. There's still a quarter and a half to go in this one here. Long term so far today, and he's going to be shooting from about 20 metres out directly in front of goal, and a chance to get it out to a game. In fact, it might be a game high. 46-48 was the game high lead. And can come in now after winning the 50-metre penalty and makes up for the earlier miss, puts it through for a goal, and Alpha moved to 12 goals, 14, 86. They lead St Mary's 5 goals, 10, 40, and one thing you can say about this Eltham side is they really have capitalised on turnover this afternoon. So multiple goals throughout the day where they've made the most out of an error out of defensive 50 for St Mary's. I know against most sides you're going to pay, but with this Eltham side, with the quality of ball use you have going inside forward 50, you're just not going to get the ball back if you turn it over in a dangerous position.
If you give them the opportunity, Samuel, they really will pounce. And we've seen that in the last few seasons in this competition as well, not just against St Mary's, but against other sides throughout the competition. So really making the most of it, as you said, but St Mary's just really got to try to find a way to compose themselves a little bit more and hopefully hit the scoreboard to get themselves back in this somehow.
So we're going to have a secondary stoppage here in the middle of Eltham Central Park. The ball is wrapped up straight away. It's Cantwell against Costello. Cantwell gets the tap down. Well, it's going to be cleared by Robert Todd for St Mary's. He's tackled just before he can dispose of it. Eltham looking to go forward in the direction of Marco Regan, but that one is out on the full. So it'll be a St Mary's free kick on the outer side. And now they look to move forward.
And it's Jasper who's going to go long down the line, but it's all Eltham players have always been built. And Tim Curry takes the intercept mark. They're always looking to go straight back to the corridor, so they've done just that. And now they can spread the ball to the inside, and they've got plenty of spread here. Wetherill look to go wide, cut back to the corridor, which he's done multiple times this quarter. Found Sullivan to O'Sullivan, Carafa, McCaffer, all by hand. He just loops the ball towards Darcy Barnes, who's now opted for the short sleeve in this half. He chips the ball inside. In fact, he gave it off to Runner, who chipped the ball inside. And the mark's being taken by Thomas Cantwell, the former St Mary's ruckman, now in Eltham colours, and a chance to kick his first goal for his new club against his former side. He'll be shooting from just on the paint of 50 on a slight angle.
How have you rated his game today so far?
Been good. I think his ruckman's been really good. I mean, they've got the height advantage, and coming up against an undersized ruckman into Pont and also McGibbon in his first game. So you expect Eltham to have the ascendance in the air, but he's made a positive start to his new colours, and he shoots towards goal. And it's not going to have the carry, but they've got the numbers on the goal line. moved his score out of school's hands in for a minor score, and it is Eltham 12-15-87, St Mary's 5-10-40. We're 19 minutes into the third term here at Eltham Central Park, with play set to resume, to commence, I should say, in 4 minutes over at Epping Rec Reserve, where Epping takes on Thomastown. We'll have all the live scores as they come through.
Adam Lucci bringing the ball out of defence for St Mary's. He takes a couple of steps out of the goal square and it kicks long. I think they're going to pay a mark there. It's going to go over the boundary line. Looks like it's going to be called for a throw-in right in front of the St Mary's bench, about 65 metres out from the Eltham goal. So another chance for Eltham to bomb this ball back in and kick another one. It's going to be Cantwell up against DuPont. Cantwell gets the tap down. Glasgow with a quick handball over the head, but it's intercepted by St Mary's. Now they're looking to get outside of defensive 50, and there's a mark taken there by Joseph Maggio.
And he kicks towards centre half forward, one-on-one with Nick Dean, and he pushed his opponent out of it, and Sinclair can now backtrack onto the ball. Got a runner over at the top from Dan Braskus. Lovely use of the ball, took a bounce, ran into the open goal, and kicks St Mary's third goal for the quarter, their sixth for the day, and they move to 6 goals, 10-46. Eltham 12-15-87. Lovely transition work, great body work by Nick Dean, but I reckon it all started from the back line. It's a great handball at the back there by Chris Petroro, back over his shoulder. Would have just heard the voice. Had enough. He didn't see the play. He couldn't if it was behind him, but he just handballed back. That in turn got the kick out to Maggio. And once Maggio got to the clear, it was one-on-ones everywhere. And eventually, getting at the back there was Jake Dambrowskis for his first goal, and to cut the margin back to 41 points.
And he is absolutely spent. He's just run off the ground. He's laying on his back. I think he's come from defence to kick that goal. So on a hot day, a great effort to get up the ground and kick a goal. Love that for a defender.
Oh well, I was going to say, if you're going to burn your energy, you may as well do it trying to kick a goal, and he's done just that. So he's exhausted all fuel, and he's getting a well-deserved break now, Jake Dambrowskis. So margin at 41, free kick in the centre of the ground is going to Anton Woods. Long launching ball, O'Regan strong in the pack. Flew over the top and took a strong mark, and he can go back now. He's already kicked one mark, O'Regan, and a chance to get the extremely quick reply here for Eltham and get the margin back out to what would be 47 points.
He's had a few good moments today, O'Regan, especially in that forward line. He did kick a really nice goal earlier in the day.
Plays on now. Has he got the journey? It's going right to the line. It's there. Eltham with a very quick reply, and they move to 13 goals, 15-93, leading St Mary's 6-10-46. It all started with a free kick out of the middle, and once it was a one-on-one contest inside forward 50 for Eltham, O'Regan backed his chances, took the big mark, and put it through from just inside 50 for his second goal. And it's been very much goal for goal this quarter. 3 goals to 4 in favour of Eltham. Only once have we seen a side kick consecutive goals. And the margin now back out to 47 points. Game high lead is 48, so just shy of that as the umpire brings it back into the middle. A nice bit of ruck work in the middle there by Costello. Won it down, but it's Eltham with numbers at ground level. Montanaro kicks a wide ball to half forward. Didn't have to break stride there, was Waldron. Got a runner going by his outside, which is Glasgow. He's been outstanding today. Kicks towards the forward pocket. He's looking for McCaffer. Ball bounced in front of him and then found the boundary line, and it's out of bounds. And this is where you feel Eltham's quite dangerous, because they've got big body midfielders, but you've also got McCaffrey now into the contest. Playing forward, they'll go through this stoppage, get the height advantage in the ruck, and a chance to make a goal out of this boundary throw in.
And it'll be Williamson up against Costello in this ruck contest. William just using his big stature, just bullies his way through, snaps one towards goal, but it hits the behind post. So it'll be out on the full St Mary's with the kick, and it's going to be Jasper.
Yeah, just conferring as to whether it bounced or whether it's hit on the full foot. From here it looked like it hit it flush.
Yeah.
They're just waiting. I reckon it might be unfortunate here, St Mary's. It might be they're waiting, but certainly from our angle it looked like it certainly hit and it's seen that way. So a reprieve for St Mary's here.
I think they got a bit of advice from the crowd on that one. Everyone kind of knew it was out in the full. So Jasper to take the kick for St Mary's. Eltham have been able to set up well, as the umpires conferred there. So he's going to go to a contest, and it's going to come out the back, and it's going to be Matthew Keys taking the kick. He's going to run inside forward 50, long towards goal, Stills down there, and a big hang there from Bell Chambers. Can't take the mark, and it'll just roll over the line for another behind for the Panthers.
Would have been quite a mark if Bell Chambers got over the top. 3 plays in front of him, got a bit of a leap heading out the back.
Matty Keys, real defender there. A rare chance to go forward. He was still looking to centre the ball. Might have been shooting for mine. So margin back at the 48. It's 94-46. We've played in this third term, I should say, 24 minutes. and the ball to be thrown in far side of the ground. There's a bit of shadow now, just starts to cast its way across Eltham Central Park on the far side, albeit only a very minute part of the ground as the ball's kicked out of the pack there by Gedge. Got it to the centre of the ground and we've got a foot race here. How will it go? Tap forward by Hocking to centre half forward. Keys got his body in the way, got it off to Wetherell to handball to Keys at ground level. He's dived on the footy and he's gone, and he's a bit unfortunate there because he probably had no alternative but to stop the play as Goulden now loads up from 50 right to the line and bounces into the post. Second time that's occurred for St Mary's this term, and they move to 6-11-47. Eltham out in the distance, 13-16-94, 47 points the margin.
And Eltham once again looking to move it on quickly from the kick in, Valance to Abramov, and now he finds a teammate in Montanaro just outside of defensive 50.
Might just clear up the early comment. What I meant, he was definitely holding the ball in terms of that one against Keys, but it was more so if he didn't dive on it, St Mary's had to run as he's streaming through, didn't they? So he had no choice but to do that. It was the lesser of two evils, as it turned out. It wasn't a bad decision because only a minor score kick. A bit of feeling in the game as a 50-metre penalty is awarded to Bronson Glasgow. He's going to charge towards half forward and he's going to play on, and he runs through the man on the mark and he kicks to the hot spot. Didn't quite get to his intended target in Bell Chambers. Fell to ground level. Jasper picked it up. Got a little dinky ball into centre half back. Connor's handball is going to be turned over here. Still an opportunity for Eltham. O'Regan brushed aside a tackler, handball to the outside. McCaffer, standing start, going right to the goal square. Still almost took the mark, falling back to the ground. Ball still alive in the goal square. And I reckon it's a goal. Is it a goal? It is.
I reckon it is.
I reckon Steele's got his boot to that footy, and it's there. Or was it Bell Chambers' boot in the end? It somehow popped out of the pack, and Steele and Bell Chambers have made something out of nothing there. And we'll credit it to Alex Bell Chambers. He kicks his third, and the margin has extended to a game-high lead as Eltham reached triple digits. 14-16-100. They lead St Mary's 6 goals, 11-47, and not sure how they conjured that one up, but they'll certainly take it, the Panthers.
Well, I was even thinking that in the lead-up play between O'Regan and McCaffrey, St Mary's had a heap of numbers in their own defensive 50, but somehow the Panthers were able to just get that ball inside the goal square, and a great goal there too.
As a free kick has been given, I'm not sure what the infringement was, but it's Cantwell going long inside forward 54 Eltham. The pack forms, and it's going to be a quick shot on goal from Mark O'Regan. That was just right, and another behind for the Panthers. So they're really peppering the goals late in this third quarter, looking to put a couple more on before three-quarter time.
They've done it in each quarter. They've run out the quarters better, haven't they, Eltham? This is where, if you sit there, you just want to lock the clamp on now. You don't want to leak anymore. It's obviously already a heavy lead, but you don't want to blowing out any further than this, heading into three-quarter time when they can just get a quick break. So the ball now moves up towards centre wing. In dispute, a chance here for St Mary's to move it down the line. It comes out. Gedge's handball was partially smothered, but it still got to the target, which was Ronald's. Ronald now kicks towards half forward. Great spoil flying across with balance. A bit unfortunate maybe to give the free kick away there. It was a
Sinclair, I think it was.
acrobatic attempt, wasn't it? Diving across, got their hand on the ball, but the umpire said that's a free kick from the back. So St Mary's ball on the far side, and the Goulden it looks to be on the far side, and might be backing himself. He seems to be a fair way from home. It's really the far side of the ground for us, but certainly looks away from home, but he seems to be pretty confident.
The defender is standing bang on the 50-metre line, so it'll take a massive kick. He feigns and then goes central inside forward 50, but it's all Eltham there, and it's going to be cleaned up by Jarvis and getting a few handballs around. The ball is going to come to Joel Tolley, and they're going to continue to handball, and now a kick inboard. Probably wasn't the best decision, but it works out. And now Eltham looking to go forward once again in the direction of Bell Chambers, and he flies to the mark. He's spoiled. It's 4-on-2 in favour of St Mary's there, so they hope to clean up here and get the ball out of defence and go towards centre wing.
It was Kassane. He just hung it up in the air too long. Sinclair took the mark, intercepted. He played on straight away though, and his kick wasn't his best one. That's cut off by Nick Gedge. Right in front of his interchange gate, so he's at half back for St Mary's. We've now ticked into the 29th minute of the third term. It's Eltham 101, St Mary's 47. The ball comes out now. This is Cohen, who just shorts the ball out wide. And what's the umpire's call going to be here? Out of bounds, it looks to be.
I think Gedge has had a pretty good game today. He's kicked the 2 goals, but he's also been around the contest a lot and just getting that ball forward when he could. So good game from Gedge so far.
So he'll be thrown back into play here. And it's going to be Zane Costello to the ruck for St Mary's. Neither the ruck really got a hand on it. Costello's secondary work was very good. Picked up the bouncing ball, gave a handball off, but now it's been turned over, and McCaffrey, against the run of play, gets the ball into Michael Still, and Still will now line up from 30 directly in front, and this will be one of the last shots of goal for the term, one would feel. And it's going to be Michael Still to line up for his third goal of the day.
You wouldn't believe it, but another interception in the corridor. It's been the story of the day in terms of the way St Mary's have given up a lot of their goals this afternoon. Just a quick link up again from the McCaffrey, fine Still, and you would feel the way the game is going at the moment that he slots this one through.
Yeah, definitely. He's had a great game today, partnering with Matt Williamson inside that 450 for Eltham. So still a slow approach here, very deliberate approach. He kicks it just straight, and it's going to go through for his third goal of the day. So Michael's still an impressive performance, a great kick inside 450 from Brett McCaffrey, as you said, Nick. Once again from that turnover from St Mary's trying to go inboard, and Eltham really putting him to the sword here. They moved to 15 goals, 17, 107. St Mary's 6-11, 47, so a 60-point lead here at Eltham Central.
Yeah, 3 goals now in time on this quarter, so they're really just starting to pile on the pain against St Mary's. The play has started over at Epping Recreation Reserve, where of course Epping is hosting Thomastown, and it's the visitors off to the quick start there. Epping yet to score. Thomastown's kicked 2 goals straight, 12, Anthony Capici and Tyron Leonardis in his first game for Thomastown with the early goals for the Bears.
That's some star power for Thomastown. Good to see them on the board early for the Bears. As the ball is thrown back up in the middle here, and it's going to be St Mary's getting the clearance through Petroro. He's going to get a quick clearance to a teammate, and that's going to be Kassane. Tries to go inside 50. Ball comes out, and Eltham going to clear. Looks like through Curry. He goes a bit further forward to Joel Tolley, and now Eltham once again clean with the hands. Abramov hands the ball over to McCaffrey, who finds a short target there in Mark O'Reilly.
Well, they were just lining up for it on the centre wing, weren't they? And then the Eltham players, they were in a queue as he handballs to McCaffrey, who goes backwards by hand. Abramov, well, that's a nice kick kind of kick, isn't it? Just slamming on the boot. Got it to the intended target though, which was Campbell. Now the ball goes inside 50, spoiled away from Still. Woods just attacked the footy. He wanted it the most there, the Eltham skipper. He couldn't find a teammate by hand, and now it's a chance to exit defensive 50 for Petroro. Long left foot kick. It's going to centre wing, but it's a 2-on-1 in favour of Eltham. And the intercept mark taken by Tim Curry. He goes back to the corridor and spots up Matty Keys.
So Matty Keys just looking to settle for the Panthers here. And he'll go back to Tim Curry. Defensive side of centre wing, right in front of the Eltham interchange bench. Just slow it down for these last couple of minutes, run it out. And Curry will go back a little further to Lane Sinclair. Sinclair moving as the siren sounds here at Eltham Central Park. That is 3/4 time. Eltham 15 goals, 17, 107. Leading St Mary's 6 goals, 11, 47.
So that term there, Eltham, well, they started the quarter leading by 42 points. They ended up winning the term by a further 3 goals. That term, Eltham